GSL.
What's up, guys? Tasosis is here, and we're going into game number 3. It's going to be a TvT, excuse me, which we haven't casted that much of in Korea for some time.
Yeah, it's coming back though. It's definitely coming back.
I actually
more
love
and more
the
Terrans
matchup,
are everywhere.
So, yep.
So I'm excited to see it. Definitely have seen an increase in TvT in the past few months, although we haven't had GSL, so definitely your point stands. You and I have not gotten to do much here.
I'm curious how these two guys are going to do in TvT against each other.
I got to say, neither of them have been showing great results in TvT recently. You know, like MKP, for instance, just getting 3-0'd by Fantasy recently in the SSL. YoDa, no like noticeable good TvT victories recently either. So, Iron Fortress, man, 100% ban rate so far.
It's going to be Overgrowth, Deadwing, Merry-Go-Round.
Okay, this is good. I'm glad. I don't want to see Catalina. I don't like that map at all, and I don't like it TvT. A little bit too crazy. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see what these guys are going to go for. I've seen MarineKing play some mech in TvT recently, so we'll see if it goes for that. Of course, YoDa, old teammate of MVP, definitely knows how to mech. But we'll see what they do with their actual openings. Will we have some aggressive tech-based openings? Likely, I would say.
It is going to be interesting to see how these guys play TvT. I'd say out of all the mirror matchups, TvT is the one where you can really see the player's personality come out. There's a lot of different ways you can approach this matchup. TvT, even all the way back in StarCraft 1, had a lot of flexibility. It's one of these funny matchups where you can sort of do anything and make it work. In this case, even all the way down to unit comp, there's a lot of different unit comps you can have that work out. We'll see, and we'll talk more about that as we see how they're choosing to develop their armies. It's almost too much to talk about in this matchup until we see what direction they're going to take this in. Anyways, guys, the winner, I should say, of this best of 3 does move on to the round of 16 here in the GSL Code S. In the bottom left, we have our player in the yellow.
YoDa Prime.
Okay, this is too long. Come on.
Yeah, I was like, in the upper right, in the blue, he is
MVP MarineKing.
See the energy emitting from his body is actually making the walls shake.
Definitely not a heater in the booth.
No, it's definitely not that.
Well,
how are you doing? I'm good, man. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Excited to cast a TvT. Last year we just, I think,
got almost
had
none.
as many TvTs. Well, I could count them on one hand, I believe.
We casted more unicorns than TvTs at GSL last year.
It was pretty brutal. So it's going to be fun to see this now. Neither Artosis or I are Terran players in StarCraft II, so we'll have to see what they're doing now in this matchup.
Yeah.
And dissect that for you guys as best we can.
Expect a lot of tech.
Yep.
Tech-based openings, harassment, whatnot. But I do wonder what we'll see as the follow-up. Like, will we see mech or bio from either of these players? You know, there was a point in time in MarineKing's career where I would just say, yeah, he's going bio. Mech's better, but he'll go bio because that's what he does. But that's not the case anymore.
When StarCraft II initially came out, we did see some mech play. This is also just, since we're doing Terran history, that seems to be kind of the theme in a lot of these casts we've had here today. In TvT and Brood War, you had to mech, but it didn't look like a TVP. It was all about siege tanks. Essentially, once a siege tank gets a position on a map, there's no favorable way to engage it as long as it's also covered by air. So TvT in Brood War turned into this giant chess game. just kind of controlling the map and
Yeah.
stopping drops that might try to reacquire positions on the map. Now, in StarCraft II, there's a bit more flexibility. We did see a lot of players go bio, and it was actually working out pretty nicely. But the problem is if you go bio, although you have more map control, you have more initiative, you have more tempo, the player who's turtling and goes for any kind of mech composition, if it goes to that late phase of the game, that mech army is stronger than the bio army.
Yes, for sure.
Albeit less mobile.
Yes.
So, and we've also seen this middle road Terran play, which is just Marines, medevacs, and siege tanks, which is it's fine as well.
That's more popular than just straight bio, I guess. Well, I guess if you're going bio versus bio, you have to go Marine siege tank, whereas if you're going bio versus mech, you're
well, no, you don't
you can
always
go,
have to go Marine siege tank, right? I mean,
if you're going like
you
if you're both going
in there.
bio versus bio, you don't really want Marauders because Marines just wreck them so hard.
I guess that's true too. See, I've not casted TvT in a while, so.
You know, something kind of interesting actually, and this doesn't really have a whole lot of bearing on this game in particular. Just something interesting is like what you were saying about StarCraft 1 TvT is definitely true. As you get later in the game, like siege tanks are really the unit that matters. Like eventually, you could go to battle cruisers and those matter, but it was all about the siege tanks and their positioning. But in early game in TvT, especially towards the end of StarCraft 1, it was all about vultures, mass vultures, which is kind of like what the Hellion is.
Oh yeah.
And some mech players, specifically I'll say 4GG, in TvT go for mass Hellions and have good results. And I just wonder if that's something that's going to evolve more, or if that's... I'm just not sure. But
well, the Vulture was an interesting unit from Bird War because it was so cheap. I mean, when you can see when Blizzard designed it, it was intended to like scout around the map and then plant a few mines. But it just turned into, well, I'll get on that in a second.
Man.
Ouch. But it turned out to just be so cheap, and paying 75 minerals for something with 3 mines that can kill workers, and you can kill workers in 2 hits with the Vulture. It just became the ultimate assault or support unit.
Yeah.
Or harass unit. It was just an all-encompassing powerhouse unit, which is why you'd almost be foolish to not get those. Even sometimes against Zerg, you might as well get them.
Absolutely. But here we see, the Hellion definitely is a big part of it, but this isn't the mass that I'm talking about. Like, you would actually have so many vultures that you could barely control them in StarCraft 1. But anyways, this is quite a few as well. He does come up here as well with this medevac, and the 2 Vikings are going to kill off the medevac, but you know what? Not before it actually helps these Marines quite a bit, and YoDa going to crush through here.
Wow. This is like TvT, ABC's.
Well, that's just like so much damage.
Yeah, he just gets right in there. Now, there's a lot of kills here on these SCVs, and I mean, he's just reinforcing this as well, microing back the weaker units. What do we have? 33 SCVs to 22.
Yeah,
11 SCV lead right now here for YoDa.
MarineKing was actually up by like 5 SCVs before that, so that is a huge amount of kills.
Man.
Yeah, definitely a nice lead here for YoDa, and he is going right into mech.
Meching, yep.
Looks like mech for both players. Rightfully so.
See if he can mech it happen.
Oh, tasteless.
The Hellions are coming down, and it looks like MarineKing wants to put on some more pressure of his own down here. Obviously, he can't really just sit back and enter into a macro race. He's just simply put behind.
Yeah, he's 10 SCVs down. That's really bad.
And as long as YoDa isn't missing a beat, he'll always be ahead. So, MarineKing looks like he's come down here. It's a little bit of a contain. The way he's spread these units out, he's hoping that maybe YoDa will push out again and walk into that. And now he's going to come up here.
Yeah, this is a funny thing about Vikings as well. Landed, they're actually pretty good against Hellions, like surprisingly. They're pretty good early game, basically, in TvT, both in the air and on the ground. But he can't actually do anything here. His opponent has more than enough.
Yeah, there's no way that he can come out on top here. And so this is tough because his Vikings are not fast. So he does pick up, and he might just barely get that. Oh,
yeah.
Yep, he gets it. Nicely done.
Very good kill. YoDa extends his lead slightly.
All right, so he's going back up here now to the watchtower. Well, and yeah, YoDa just backs up. Again, YoDa's still in a lead here. It's 45 SCVs for YoDa to the 38 here for MarineKing.
And we're still seeing a lot of Hellion production. Blue Flame on the way. Of course, Blue Flame going to really help out in these battles since Hellions are just absolute light unit killers already, but that Blue Flame helps so much more.
Well, again, another move here that there's not much MarineKing can really do to prevent. We see a third base being taken now by YoDa in the bottom right. And, I mean, really, there's nothing fancy anymore about what YoDa's doing, and that's fine because it doesn't need to be fancy. He's just continuing to stay ahead once he got ahead.
Well, if when you're ahead you can't get more ahead, at least stay ahead.
Yeah. Now we have a drop coming up here. Oh my god, he needs to turn that around. Oh my god, this could be so bad.
Now those are Hellbats in there. Let's see if they actually get some hits on. It's funny because Hellbats actually can be kited by Hellions.
He actually got that that one that had the Hellbat inside the medevac.
Oh wow.
Had it there.
But still, it ends up working out here. Oh wow.
Oh my
He's
god.
Gotta lift that. What? Oh, that was a little bit slow, but could have been.
He might try to attack again up into the front though.
Well, YoDa's still in a very good spot here. He doesn't have any answer for these Vikings. Like, he spent a lot of money on medevacs to actually use Hellbats in the next engagement, but obviously Vikings beat that, so he knows they even can target down Hellbats.
There's a Thor coming down here now.
I bet Zerg wishes they could make landed Vikings.
Oh, could have gotten those medevacs, but he backs up.
A little bit afraid of that Thor, maybe.
Keep in mind that command center, I believe, is done. Yeah, it is done down there at the third base. And more factories coming up. I don't see any way that MarineKing actually wins this game.
No.
It's just
YoDa's
this is so hard to recover from.
Well, look, he's got way less SCVs, like 24 less SCVs, 1 less base, less factories, less army. It's just, yeah, he's in the worst spot ever. So I don't even know. Like, I guess MarineKing's going to make a scary army and try to do something with it. Try to do a little bit of harassment, as we see here, but I don't know that it's really going to work that much. So YoDa looking fantastic here.
Yeah.
Really looking poised to take this first game.
It's funny, he was, I think, a bit overshadowed by the other players that were in this group, but he's looking stronger than ever.
YoDa? Yeah. I actually wrote a little article previewing. I'd put my money on YoDa and Sulky actually getting out. We'll see if that's the case, but YoDa right now looking like his TvT. At least this game a bit better than MarineKing's.
Because MarineKing is backed up and keeping his third base safe, it looks like, oh my god. Picnic. Picnic.
Oh man, time for a Rito. Well, I don't know what happened there.
I don't know what happened.
I'm sure that they paused the game shortly thereafter. Oh no, it's actually not paused.
It's still going
on
on
over there. Well,
so we're going to go back into the game. I'm going to take these two wires and plug them together. The electricity will go through my body.
You sacrifice yourself.
This is
the right thing to do.
Tasus is going to try to save esports, guys.
Now look at this. I like this move by MarineKing. He's actually dropping Thors in the main base, trying to ferry up enough units that he can actually maybe somehow win. Now we do have a lot of Sea Chanks come up with Hellbats. The Hellbat's stuck behind, losing all of his Vikings. This is very messy for YoDa, but he will actually break through here.
This is pretty fugly.
But you know what? That was well done by MarineKing, I would say. He really made YoDa use a lot there to stop that. The fact that he used every Viking and just they all died, that hurts.
Hellions still doing damage over here to the third base. And can I point out on the mini-map that most of this army is not coming down here to defend this? He's actually just going to go straight into a counterattack, which is smart because he killed all those Thors. Those were the tanky units, really, for MarineKing. He kills that off. And by the way, Thors do not make fast.
No.
Just ask that guy, that Thor right there. So he's going to come up here now, and he should just run over. Should be steamrolled. Oh,
I think so.
Tank might be handy here, but
with this many siege tanks, with this many
5 tanks
Hellbats,
is better than 1. It's an old StarCraft proverb from Taste Fuchsius. Really good. You can see how much damage the Thors do though to those tanks, but it's not enough. The Hellbats are here. It's basically SCVs and 2 Hellbats remaining for MarineKing.
Well, that doesn't beat a lot of Hellbats and Siege Tanks, does it?
No, it does not. So he's splitting this all up. He's going to land these Vikings.
Yeah, and, well, the Thor, he's going to try to repair and whatnot. Well, you know, when SCVs are fighting Blue Flame Hellbats, you know the game is over.
Pretty much.
MarineKing. In his way, though, going to stay in the game.
Yeah, well, this is MarineKing. Don't forget.
Yeah.
We need to find those buildings burning and flying to the corner of the map, and
That's
then we can stamp this game officially MarineKing.
Where there's a Marauder, there's a way.
Yep. When there's a medevac, there's a way.
Yeah. Well, I mean...
So, yeah, you know, it's
Doesn't
only
quite break it.
123 supply to 32. There it is, GG.
All right.
All right, YoDa wins game number 1.
Pretty convincingly.
He's got to win either this game or the next one, and he's out of this group and moving on to the round of 16.
Yeah.
Chug that water. Stay hydrated.
I think he'll be able to do it. He's looking really strong here today. Yeah, it's funny, though, because Son definitely could have taken him out in that series, and Son versus MarineKing, who knows how that goes?
Some secrets going on over here. Make units and attack him with it. He's like, are you serious?
Next time when he brings his Hellions, don't let him kill your Hellions with them. It's like, oh, God, why didn't I try that before? Oh, man, I threw that by not doing that.
Nobody in YoDa's booth right now.
Well, yeah, that's true. I guess when you win, you don't need any pep talks, huh?
Yeah, just let him keep doing his thing. Oh, man. YoDa's probably going to go out of this group. He looked like a powerhouse in that last game.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh. Is that in the booth? Yeah, I guess it must be.
He's got to fix that collar. That's really
driving
bugging
me crazy, man. We might as well have the tag hanging out of the back of his shirt, you know?
He's got to iron that jacket, too.
He's got to iron that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
this is why you fold your laundry when it's dry, guys. Don't just put it in a pile on your bed. God. Nerds.
What happened in Artosis is past. By the way, guys, this game's about to start, so if you got to get the laundry, do it now before the action picks up.
That's right.
Don't forget, otherwise you're going to have stinky laundry. It's going to be mildewy.
Oh,
try
yeah.
that. You don't want that.
You have to rewash it. You can't have your laundry smelling like that.
Unless you want to be that nerd with the weird laundry smell. We all know that guy.
Don't be that nerd.
Don't be that nerd who doesn't know how to wash his clothes right. That nerd's watching this. He has no idea that it's him either, man. He doesn't know.
That might be you. Now all the nerds are like smelling themselves. Like, I don't know.
I don't know. It smells like what I always smell like. I can't tell.
That poor nerd.
He'll learn one day. It's on. Frog in my throat.